Okay, hello. Today we're doing a problem that's not on Leetcode, so kind of have to just trust that it works. Sounds very sketch, I know, but this question pretty simple. Given a binary tree, populate an array to represent the averages of all of its levels. So I drew out the first question here, and I also wrote out the answers here. So we have a root of 10, right? And then to the left, root dot left is 20, right? Root dot right is 30, left dot left is 40, 50, 60, 70, right? So, we built out the tree properly. And then we have another example just to show that it does work. Um, if you want, you can calculate the level averages, if that would help you. So basically the root is its own level, left and right, and then these are all on its own level. So 10, 50 divided by 2 is 25, 90, 150, 220, 220 divided by, whoops, that's the wrong one. We'll do 220 divided by, what is it, 4? Yeah, that's 5. And then it would also be 20 here, so it's 5. It's 55. And then for this one, first level is 25. 24 plus 8 is 32. Divided by 2 is 16. 40, 41, 46. 46 divided by 4. 46 divided by 4. It's 11.5. You can check my math if you want to. But yeah, so those are the two examples that we have. And so we will get into the problem. So we have if root is none, then we just want to return an empty array because it's not, you can't even return 0 because there is no node, right? So there is no average of that level. And so we're going to build out our result now. So our result array is going to be an empty array. We're going to have q is equal to dq. I already did this in the beginning. You might have to type this out in an actual interview, but I knew that we were going to use it, and kind of didn't want to spend the time just to type it. I mean, even though I'm explaining it now, I could have typed it now. That's kind of beside the case, no, beside the point. We want to use dq because we want to be able to pop from the left, or like just basically we want a first in first out type of queue, which is why we're calling it a queue, not a stack, which would be last in first out. And so yeah, we now know that there is at least root is at least a valid node, so we're going to append root. And so now we're just going to calculate the averages for every level. So while the length of the queue does not equal to 0, which means there's something in the queue, we want to calculate the average. So the length, we'll call it length of queue, and then we're going to have a value, which is we'll call it value because it would get confused with this val. So value is equal to 0, which is the current value that we have so far, right? So for I in range of length, we're not actually going to use I for anything. It's just a counter. You could also replace it with this because you never use it anyways, but it's just like a comfort thing for me to type out I. But you can kind of use whatever you want here. So we're going to get a node is equal to q.pop left. Whoops, I cannot spell. Q.pop left because we want to pop off of the front of the array because we want to first in first out. Actually, in this case, it actually doesn't really matter. Actually, no, it does, because since we're going to be building the queue as we go through our nodes, we can't pop from the end because we'll be popping things from the wrong level. So yeah, you actually do need to use pop left. And now we're going to do value plus equals node.val because we need to be able to, we need to get the value and then sum it all up and then divide by the length here in order to calculate the average, right? And so now after we grab the value, we need to see if the node has any children, right? So if node.left is not none, then we want to do q.append node.left. And same thing for node.right is not none, q.append node.right. And so after we go through all of the nodes in the level, we now have a finalized value that we've calculated and the length, right? So we can just do result.append value dot, no, divided by length. Oh, not result, sorry. Res. And so after we do that, and then it'll loop right back through. If there's items in the array, we need a handle for those as well. If not, we can exit, which we will just do by returning res. And so we can run the file here, run Python file. And as you can see, the example 1 level averages, example 1 is here, right? We got 10, 25, and 55, 10, 25, and 55. Example 2 is right here, 25, 16, 11.5. So we do have the right answers. If you want, you know, you can just copy everything up here. And we can, and then you can test it. If anyone asks for it, I suppose I could make a repo somewhere where you can get these the code that I write. I mean, you could yeah, you would probably have to do that for these questions, like this question at least, or all the questions that I do using VS Code instead of Leetcode, because Leetcode, they have everything built out for you, right? But here, since it's kind of like impromptu, kind of just writing it out myself. Yeah, it's probably good to put it somewhere so that people can access it. But yeah, that's the problem for today. Yeah, thank you for watching.